started on heel. So this is not loose leash walking. This is a formal heel. So heel says dog is at your left side. Seam of your pants is lined up with their shoulder. They should be right next to you, close enough to touch. Not so far away that you can't touch, but not so close that they're leaning up against you. So what I want is them walking when I walk, stopping when I stop. Heel is this position. Doesn't mean I'm walking, doesn't mean I'm on leash. Means they're holding this position no matter what I do. The way I start this is off leash. I want to make sure they understand the leash is irrelevant to this. Whether there's a leash on or not, if I ask you to heel, it's in this position and holding this position. If I speed up, you speed up. If I slow down, you slow down. So what we're looking for is holding that position. I want to get started first, though, by helping them get into that position. So with Bella here, she has not done any heel work. So I'm just getting started with her, helping her to understand where to be. So I'm working on this location. I can help her get there by using some guidance. So in some cases we may start by luring it. She thinks we're playing find it because we were just doing that recently. She's looking on the ground because we were just working on some find it, so she's got to transition to doing something else here. So I can lure her into position to start with. But I typically don't do a lot of luring, especially in the case of heel work. So even though I can start with this, and she's not in perfect heel position yet, I'm just starting to get her the concept of going to that side. What I tend to do myself is work on shaping or capturing that behavior. So I will start by having treats ready to go. I'm going to start walking. If she shows up at my left side, I'll click and treat that. If she's anywhere else, I don't. I just ignore. When she shows up at my left side, I click and treat. Even if it's not perfect yet, even in that general area, I'll click and treat that, so she starts to get the hang of what we're doing. She can be in front, off to the side, anywhere, but if she's anywhere other than my left side, I just ignore. Only click when she shows up where I want her to be. So if you'll notice, I'm looking where I want her to show up. I'm looking to my left side to see if she shows up there. I can use some body language to help her get there. Oops, I dropped that one. She can sit in front of me, but that's not going to get her anything. Too far ahead, so I don't want to click it if she's too far out ahead of me. Notice I'm not holding the treat down, so I'm not luring her into position, which is what a lot of people do when they start teaching heel. It's a perfectly fine way to start it. What I want to do is click and reward her when she shows up where I want her to be. I don't stop and wait for her, I just keep walking generally. Sometimes I'll stop and hang out, but I'm not slowing down to wait for her. I'm walking. And if she shows up where I want her to be, I'll click and reward that. I try and make it easy for her, so when she goes to the right side, I try and make it easy for her to go to that left side by either moving myself against the wall, so it's easier to show up at my left side. So with my own dogs, the way I start this is I'll have either their meal or their treats for that training session, and I'll just start walking around the room, and every time they show up at my left side, I click and reward it. When my own dogs are young, I'll do an entire meal this way, so dinner will be handed out specifically by walking around and showing up at my left side, and pretty quickly, for my dogs, usually they start showing up there right away and are walking at my side almost the entire time once they figure out that's where all the good stuff happens. But notice, either I'm pulling a treat out of the treat bag or I'm holding treats up here. So I don't want to be luring her into position, because if I'm doing that too much, then she's just following food. I don't want her following food. I want her learning where to show up, and she gets food for showing up there. Now, as I said, she's not in perfect heel position yet. I'm clicking anytime she shows up at my left side. Even if it's not exactly where I want her to be, I can start to narrow that down once she gets the hang of being at my left side.